Hello, welcome to Behind the Blaze. My name is TJ, and we have...
Mr. Alex Trakas, assistant principal.
And then...
Coach Emily Harris, girls soccer coach and biology teacher.
How y'all doing? How's the day going so far?
It's going great. You know, counting down to Thanksgiving break. We really appreciate coming down here and talking with you guys, kind of recapping some athletic sports and looking forward to some sports teams this winter.
Yeah. Just tell me a little about it. How was the fall season? How'd it go?
Well, why don't we recap girls soccer with Coach Harris while she's here. So, Coach Harris, why don't you walk us through the success that your girls had?
Yeah, so we had a really successful year this year. We got the best result against Siegel than we ever have in my knowledge of the history of Blackman girls soccer. Tied them early in the season, and that gave us a really big boost to just keep us going and to have our hopes high. Through the season, we ended up landing fourth, but we lost in the state. We lost in the tournament to Oakland, who ended up being state contenders. So something that we were really proud of. With the girls fought and played, it was just really good this year. We're really proud of them.
Yeah, and I went to a couple games this year, and I can surely attest that we have a young group, energetic, passionate, and one of the best things that they do is they play really well together.
Yes.
And you can tell that they have a genuine care for one another that I know that the Coach Harrises have really cultivated. I observed one time, whether it was an accident or whatnot, that they do on Fridays. Tell me if I'm wrong. They do presents for one another, kind of surprise gifts for one another.
Okay.
And it was a really neat thing that I kind of saw, and again, it's just building team culture and a bond that people are willing to play for one another. So that was pretty neat to see.
I know, and then I have a few classes with the girls soccer team members, and I feel the energy, and then the team energy, and what do you call it? That spirit that they hold. And on the field and off the field, it's just big. And we had a podcast talking beforehand, talk about the season before it started, and it's good to hear that it went good,
Yeah, and Coach Harris, why don't you talk about a couple players that maybe stood out throughout the year?
Yeah, so we had a really young team. We took on 8 freshmen, which was really cool. We got to see them grow throughout the season. We had 4 seniors this year. We're going to miss all of them. We had Allie Hawkins is probably our standout midfielder. Yeah. She's just really dynamic, really willing to and able to change the speed of play, and she's really aggressive. So she's a really big asset to us. We have some awesome freshmen. Our goalkeeper, she really stood up this year. The final game, she played incredible. She had a hurt quad, and she just managed to work through it. Yeah. But we're lucky with all the girls that we have on the team. There's a lot of talent and a lot of character and just really great girls.
That's good.
The future is very bright for the Lady Blaze soccer program, I can tell you that.
It sounds like we have a lot of underclassmen that we have to build up to, and that's good. We have a good team. And then also heard we had some good news. Big news. Yeah,
so this year I was nominated and as the district coach of the year, which is really cool. I think it's a testament more so to our girls than even to me. I think it really shows how much they've bought in. The team culture, the willingness to play organized, to listen to what we have to say. It's just really cool to see their buy-in. It's been awesome.
Must have been an honor.
It was.
And it's, anytime that you have, transition when Coach Harris came in a couple years back, it can be really hard, and you can either go one or two ways. And they've really bought in to the coaching and to all the things that have been instilled in them, both on the field and also in the classroom too. You can really see that too. There's been a lot of pride in that program, which is, again, I've been here. This is now my 8th year here. Yeah. You've really seen that grow within the last few years, which has been good. And again, that's why we firmly believe that the future of that program is very, very, very bright.
Can't wait to see it. All right, going into classrooms, I had your sophomore year, and it was wonderful. Teaching, just the environment of the classroom was just very welcoming, and I actually wanted to learn in there. Yeah. To sit and pay attention to how you talk. It was just very good, and I don't think I had any other teacher that can take that spot, and now being a senior. So I think you did a good job on the field and in Classrooms for sure.
Well, I appreciate that. Even if you were the one that put the worm in the plant.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was surprised you remember that.
You were a joy head up in class. It was a really fun year. It was my first year as a teacher, so it was a lot of learning curves for me, but it was a really cool year, and I'm really thankful that I was able to teach you because you were awesome.
Thank you.
And I want to kind of go on top of that. Not only is Coach Harris a phenomenal teacher, we have a lot of coaches in this building that are really great teachers as well, and I think that's incredibly important for our students to see, and really our faculty to see too. Coaches put in a lot of time and effort after school for their specific sport, and so it really shows students and faculty, those coaches that go above and beyond in the classroom too, that how committed they are to this school, to their students, to the community, and I can't speak enough to the coaches that we have, both for what they do in their respective sports, but what they also do in the classroom too, because we have some awesome coaches, but we also have some even better teachers that are coaches as well.
I'm glad that at Blackman we do have those teachers, and we all have an opportunity to get to experience it, whether being an athletic student or just a regular, student. You get to experience it, and that's a good culture at Blackman. That's it as a student, and we're grateful for.
It's extremely important as administrator. One of the things that we always ask coaches when we interview them is talking about their student athletes, and the student comes first.
Yes, sir.
And so do we want you to have successful sports programs? 100%. A lot of these programs are the front porch of the school, and we want to have success. Anytime you compete, Coach Harris will attest to this, anytime you compete and play a game, you want to win the game. Yeah. I'm a former football coach myself, so you have that competitive fire in you, but you can do that in the classroom as well. And it's special when you can have both of those, because again, in the phrase student athlete, student comes first.
Yes, sir.
And so we want to create a culture of winning both on the gridiron, the field, the pitch, if it's soccer, but most importantly, we want them to win in the classroom as well.
Of course. And then with winter sports coming up, any news with that?
Yeah, we're really excited about our winter sports coming up. Actually, tomorrow night in our main gym, we have our winter sports Meet the Blaze night, where it's an introduction of all of our, again, student athletes and coaches that are going to be introduced in our main gym. It's kind of a nice way for our community to come together and celebrate all the hard work that our programs are having. So we're going to introduce our dance team, our basketball cheer squad, both boys and girls basketball, boys and girls wrestling, a bowling will be introduced, and we'll have performances by the band and the Heat, which we always look forward to. So it's a great way to bring the community in and really celebrate all the hard work that our student athletes and coaches put in. We did something similar in the fall, Blaze Drive Bash, where we brought in the middle school as well and got to introduce all the high school programs and middle school programs, again, to bring the community in and really celebrate all of our student athletes. It's a great way to do that and highlight them. But yeah, we're really looking forward to our winter sports. Obviously, our boys and girls basketball program is continuously one of the best in the state, year in and year out. Both programs went to the state tournament last year. I know that there'll be a lot of aspirations for the same thing. Our girls return a lot of talent. Our boys return a ton of talent as well. And they're obviously going to be coached up by two of the most well-respected coaches in the entire state, with Coach Grandstaff and Coach Wortman. Both of them and their staff do a great job. Really excited for wrestling this year. Our wrestling program, again, is top 5 in the state every single year. We'll have dozens and dozens of wrestlers compete for the state tournament year in and year out, both boys and girls. So I know that they've returned a lot, so we're really excited with that. Our bowling team competed last year and did very, very well. Coach Picklesheimer does a great job with them. I know Mr. Smith went to a match last week and said that it was some of the most fun things that he got to see. And so they do a great job, and they'll compete for region and potentially a state championship as well. So we're really looking forward to that. Again, we do really, really, really good things in the classroom here at Blackman. But we also do some incredible things in our athletic program as well. And so we're really looking forward to that with our winter sports. every afternoon I see the basketball cheer squad practicing. They're right outside my office, so I get to hear them, every day after school. But the amount that they practice, the heat, I'm with Miss Flagg. They do a great job practicing, and she's done a great job of building that program. It's just the amount of time and effort that these coaches and student athletes put in is pretty incredible. And it's really, really cool to see. And so really what we need is our Blackman students and community to come out and support. One thing that Mr. Smith asked programs to do this year, and I actually got to see it at one of the girls' soccer matches this year, was he asked for different sports to go to different games with the entire team to go watch. So when I went to I think our girls were playing Smyrna. I think that was the match that they went to. The entire baseball team came out.
Nice.
And so they got to cheer.
Yeah.
They were kind of giving it to the referees a couple times, which is okay. That's okay. But it's just really neat to see students supporting students and highlighting, all their hard work. So, Coach Harris, kind of talk about that.
Yeah, I'll say I remember that, and it was really encouraging for our girls. We don't, typically get, the size crowd that football does or, things like that. So to see another program that took the time to come out and watch us. We actually had the baseball team do it, and the guys soccer team came, and that was really cool. I think that it was a really big encouragement to our girls to see that people that they walk with in the hallways cared enough to be there to support them. Yes,
and it just so happened that the game that I was watching, the volleyball also had a home match as well, and so those two teams went from the football stadium to watch the soccer game inside to the gym to watch volleyball. And you were talking about creating a wild environment both for soccer and volleyball. They just kept walking back and forth. It was really neat to see. And again, it's something that not everybody gets to, not everybody has that at most schools. And so that was a really cool initiative that Mr. Smith thought of this year, and it's something that I hope will continue, because again, there's something really special about students supporting their fellow students. I think that's really, really cool.
And the involvement of it is just, anything having support. And with Mr. Smith thinking of that idea, and I haven't, as a student, it's a very good idea to have, these other teams of mass athletes supporting another group of teams, filling in the crowds. If athletes, they know how it feels to not have a crowd full to go and fill in the crowd for somebody. And it's good on both ends.
Yeah, and it's really, it's not just athletics too. What we did during homecoming for a variety show, and other students paying to go watch other students perform various different things. That's just, I think it's really special, and it really speaks to school culture. When you have each other supporting one another, watching one another, picking up one another, and truly caring for one another. That speaks to school culture, and that's something that we think is really, really important, and it's unique to the Blackman communities. It's kind of a small town and a big town, and so it's something that we want to keep and cultivate and continue, especially with any, I don't want to talk about rezone or anything like that, but it's something that's really special and unique to Blackman that we want it to continue. And
I like seeing that, because at the end of it, being a senior, the people you walk with at the end of it is the people you're walking in the halls with. So to have each other's back, to the very end is good.
And what you need to realize, and what other seniors need to realize, is that you're being watched by freshmen and sophomores. And so when they see, really, I remember what it was like. You looked up to upperclassmen and you tried to mimic what they do. And so if you see large, student bodies at an athletic game, or a lot of people coming to watch a variety show, or, a drama performance or a band concert, those underclassmen see that, and then it continues to build on one another. And that's,
follows
again,
the footsteps.
Exactly. And that's something that's really, really important.
So as seniors, we can't lose faith. We have other people that are watching us.
That's exactly right.
And I hope y'all, we'll listen up, because we still have half a year. Half a year left, right. And if we can build a good impact before we can leave, because it's our last year. So
exactly right.
We can get these freshmen and underclassmen to start coming to these games, and building up our school spirit and having that Blackman spirit.
Yeah,
be unstoppable.
It's going to be really important. You know, I think basketball starts next week.
Yeah.
It's really important to go watch all these teams, you know, compete and perform. You know, come to a wrestling match where there's multiple schools here, and just watch the team round. You know. Root for one another and get each other's back. It's something to really watch, and it's something that's really neat. Come to a basketball game and watch how the teams come together, and how, you know, they listen to one another, and, you know, how Coach Wortman or Coach Grandstaff will coach them up, and they coach them up hard, but how every student watches them, and it's eye contact, and everything is just almost perfect to a detail. Those little things matter. And so I really encourage students to come out and support.
Yeah.
You know, we'll try to do some fun initiatives to get student support out there, but just the more the better, because these student athletes put in a lot of time. I mean, I really can't stress that enough. You know, they put in a lot of time for this school, and it's important for other students to see it and to come out and support.
Yeah, and to see the work that they've been doing. Is good. And also we have that event tomorrow too.
Yep, come out to Meet the Blaze night at the main gym, 6 o'clock. We'll be introducing all of our winter sports again, performances by the band and the Heat. So we're really excited. It'll be about from 6 to 7 in the main gym. Hope to see everybody there.
All right. Looks like we're coming to an end here. We're going to give it one good. Go Blaze.
Go Blaze.